It's a journey to have to shed all of the stuff that society has piled onto us, and to get rid of that. What is not mine anymore? What doesn't belong to me that I've been carrying for so long that I don't even see it anymore, right? It's been normalized. What's now normalized that shouldn't be normalized? That's one of the big ones that I see. That, you can be yourself in a man's world or in the business world, right, in general, and be successful. You don't have to be that, right? You don't have to look at that and go, oh, I got to be the Hammer Time, right? It's like, okay, how would you do that? How do you express yourself and get things done?
Welcome to the Intentional Leadership Podcast. We have Patty Lawrence, the founder of Turbo Execs, and we're going to talk about a new exciting project she has called Flourish. You got to wait for that one, though, because we're going to start with Turbo Execs because that's what she does on a daily basis, and Flourish is what's next. So welcome, Patty. How are you today?
I'm awesome. Thanks so much for having me, Graham. Happy to be here.
So tell us just briefly kind of your background and what transpired to make it happen that you wanted to start Turbo Execs.
Sure. So I am an accountant. I know it's we're I would say a dime a dozen, but I went the corporate route. So I went into corporate accounting. I did not take the CPA route. So out of college, I went into industry. And so I was in a variety of positions of increasing responsibility and authority in my 20-year career. And at the end, I was basically VP of Finance, CFO for a $250 million business unit of a $3.2 billion company. And at that point, they had decided they were going to do a reduction in force, a RIF, and took out 10%. I was in the 10%. I was a 10%er. And so I was left with the decision like, okay, what next? Do I get back on the horse or do I do something different? And of course, my kids were of an age where they're in soccer. So soccer sideline, parent talk, soccer mom talk. I was talking to a friend of mine and she's like, oh my gosh, Patty, people need what you bring and what you do for small businesses. Small, mid-sized companies need you. They just don't need a full-time you. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. So I ended up making some phone calls and letting people know what my status was and things like that. I got a couple of projects to work on like right away. It's all about your network, and people thought very highly of me. Along the way, I'm not kind of a slash and burn type of people with a lot of collateral damage. So people, really appreciated how I showed up and what I did for the business and the group, the finance function in general. So I ended up deciding not to get on that corporate horse and pursuing something different. It's like, I can do this, but I'm an accountant. I have to learn how to have selling discussions and all the things that, you're like, holy moly, I'm like not equipped quite yet. But we know as entrepreneurs, we figure it out, right? We figure it out. And so I figured it out along the way. I got, I got in touch with people or got connected with people who were in the space to train on selling, especially in the consultative area, which is, that's what we're in. We're in consulting. And so along the way, I was able to do that kind of work and do the selling to build the business. And what I found over time is being on my own was great, except for when you go be the CFO and the books are a mess, I need a cleanup in aisle 6. And I didn't necessarily want to do it. I could do it. It does not bring me joy at all. So I had to find somebody who could do that for me, and be kind of my right hand. But also, what was most important to me is somebody who loved to do that stuff, because I know how I felt going in and doing it, and that wasn't going to be lasting very long at all. So, but I do love doing the strategic work, seeing all of the dots and connecting the dots and being kind of that visionary architect with the business owner, because that's amazing. And that's my background, right? That's where I came up through. And yes, I know accounting. I happen to know accounting, but I know a lot better what it takes to build a business, right? What it takes for that owner to kind of be to and put into place and get that level of clarity, right? By revealing the story behind the numbers, so the decisions that they make are data driven, and they can, feel confident, right? They don't have this fear that's keeping them up at night, that I can't because I don't know, right? So we take that out of the way. And so that was my first team ad, the first foray into team. And since then, Turbo Execs has continued to build and grow over time to have, basically a team that we have a staff accountant, all the way up through fractional CFO, and
Mhm.
and things in between. So we have accounting manager talent, we have controller talent, level talent, we have financial planning and analysis, which is a different talent, right? Planning and analysis. We also have an IT partner that we are working with, which is an exciting project for us, to put in a data warehouse. So via Power BI and some AI capabilities, to really take what I call data vomit, because it's so voluminous, it's so much, and it's so not useful in its current form. It's just like, bleh, there it is. Um, Taking that data and making it usable, and again, revealing the story behind the numbers, right? There's gold in the data. You just have to have the right tools, right? You have to have the right tools. And so having those right tools for our client is going to allow them to grow in a way that is very informed, right? And very intentional. So I love that for our clients. And yeah, that's just, yeah.
Well,
So we get
great.
it here, and we get to execute with a partner. So it's so much fun.
Good for you. Yeah, and then so that brought up a plethora of quick questions or a questions, right? We both have that accounting background and the love and despise it at the same time. So I can appreciate that. How did you go from corporate and what did you say, 350 million and strategy ideas and all of that, and actually, for lack of a better word, dumb it down?
Mhm.
Because so often, you look at something with 350 million and, oh, it's like, oh yeah, well, that's just a rounding error. Let's not worry about it. Well, if you're at 2 million, that's not a rounding error anymore. That's like bottom line dollars that matter whether you're going to feed your family or not.
Right.
How did you transition your thought process down? And then with that same thing, what size clients do you work with right now?
Yeah, I'll answer that one first. So
Mhm.
the size, our perfect size clients are in the 2 to, I say, $25 million range from a revenue standpoint. That's where we can have the most impact for them. We are fractional. We are remote as well. So it doesn't matter where they are, doesn't matter really where we are. Well, I'm aligning with what their needs are, and personality match, right? We're always looking for the personality match. And our team's pretty good. We can work with anybody. It's not, we have these and go like that. No, not at all.
Right.
Not at all. Now,
But you want to like who you like to work with.
we do. We absolutely do. We want alignment. And to gauge that, we have guiding principles. So we have guiding principles on our website that spell out kind of who we are and what's our North Star. And that also encompasses a description of the client, right? The clients that we're looking to align with. So, yes, we're looking to serve those clients. We're also looking for alignment. We don't want people who want to micromanage us. So, if there's a client that just, they're not trusting us, they're not trusting that we're showing up with the expertise that they don't quite have and they need to augment their business to kind of to help drive them forward. So that's kind of what we desire that. We desire alignment most of all. So good point. Great question. The second piece of your question is, how do you take the knowledge that's up here and take it to somebody who doesn't have that level of knowledge, right? How do you bridge that gap?
Well, that, and also the fact that I'll use this as an example. A person that actually we both know hired someone, and he was a rock star at UPS. But this company only had 50 million in revenue. He was not a right fit. So how do you take some of that knowledge in accounting and make it useful, but also relevant, I guess?
Yeah. I think that takes a shift. It takes a mindset shift. And it's not condescending at all. It's teaching. So there's a difference if you're talking down to people or you're talking at people. That doesn't help. That's not an alignment, a way to gain alignment, right? So there's some level of alignment, and then there's some level that you have to bridge. And so for me, that comes in the teaching aspect of it. So I say fully 50% of what I do is teaching. So teaching entrepreneurs what's important in their business from the financial perspective, from the finance function. How do you build it into your business, and how do you leverage it to take your business forward? So there's a couple of different areas in play there, but I feel like it's a lot of it is, connecting with that person, because if they put the wall up right away and kind of want to shut you out, then the receptivity is not there, that they're going to work with you and receive what it is that you're teaching or bringing to them to kind of make them better. So as a professional, right, this as well as I do, as a financial professional, what you bring a certain level of financial expertise to the party, right? And if they're in no mode, no go mode, right, and they're not receiving it, they're not receptive to it, they're going to be not your people, right? They're going to be more like they know better, right? And we know people like that. We know people. But to your point with yeah, from your example with the person from UPS, that person didn't want to pivot, right? Or didn't know how to pivot. There's a certain level of learning on our part to take our level of expertise from where we've played and translate that to the smaller markets. So not every concept translates, but there are a lot of concepts that are like, oh yeah, they need this. They don't have financial planning analysis. They're not even looking at a budget, right? Well, let's educate. Why is a budget important, right? What can a budget, I say, why is it important, but how can it help you, right? What's in it for me? What's in it for me as the owner or the founder of that particular entity, the organization? What's in it for me? You're like, okay, I'm going to put work into this, or you're going to put work into this, Patty. What are we going to get? Right? What are we going to get in return? Well, you know what? Here's the deal. You're going to be able to make faster decisions based on what's going on in your business. You look at your budget, you look at your actuals, and you're trying to make a decision on, oh, do we get to, we have an opportunity to hire somebody, right? Well, our sales higher than budget because your budget drove your staffing and your staffing cost. You've got maybe some variable expenses and you got to fixed expenses. Can you take on something else in that equation? Your decisions will come much faster than if you have to, at that particular point in time, create it all. So I say you have a lot more visibility into your business. The other thing is when you do that budget, you start learning a lot about your business, right? You start learning, especially if you're being guided through that process with somebody who knows what they're doing, right? It's not just a mathematical exercise. I mean, some of it can be, yes. And if you've done a strategic plan, this wraps into your strategic plan as well, because your strategic plan has laid out your direction for the next 3 years. I never go beyond 3 years for a strategic plan with anybody because there's way too much going on out there that we can't predict. We have no idea. And then it becomes a math exercise.
Right.
So, yeah. And we don't want it to become a math exercise. We want some really good thoughts behind, that's why we have the assumptions page. And we go in and detail. It's assumptions, but it's your thoughts, right? It's your thoughts behind the numbers. So what does that look like for your particular business, for your industry, for the competitive landscape? What are all those things that we need to pull into that scenario planning that's going to give us the best numbers at that point in time? And we got to remember, it can be a fluid, thing where you update it. We used to do, twice a year in big companies. We used to do a couple updates a year, right? Because they'd go up the chain and everybody be like, oh, okay, or thumbs down. You go figure. No. You go figure that out.
Go back again. Let's do this again.
Try again. It's not good enough. So anyway, that's kind of how I see it for people. It's kind of a combination where you take that thinking and you bring it down to and pick and choose, because not everything's applicable. Although what's in your head you carry with you all the time, right? So it's not going away.
Yeah. Are there one or two things that specifically that you did as a, in corporate that you find that your clients specifically don't do now? I mean,
Yeah.
or two, a couple of two or three things you could name that you would say, yeah, they should do this, but they're not.
Yeah.
What would those be?
Yeah. So first one is
Give
budgeting.
a couple examples.
Yeah. So first one is budgeting or some kind of, let's see, cash forecasting. Depends on your situation. If you're a seasonal business, if you have some seasonality, meaning you have high sales at, let's say, pool cleaners, and you're living somewhere north, all right? So you have summer work, and then you don't have work because you're not cleaning pools, right? So do you go
iced over and they're ice skating? They need a Zamboni.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So same thing as, the lawn and landscape guys, and, they plow snow in the winter in the north. And so you have some seasonality, there's some cyclicality in your business cycle. So what does that look like? That kind of business definitely needs a cash forecast. You need to have that cash forecasted because guess what? You have taxes due. You there's those things. You have quarterlies. You have you have obligations, and you want to know, can I pay my people, right? Can I keep paying my people? I have a lot for people that have that cyclical business. I want to keep them on, but I don't know if I have enough money. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's look at the cash forecast. So budgeting forecasting, I'll put those two together. Then the second thing I will say that I don't see enough of, that I really, really advocate for, is the the analysis piece. So really having a good understanding of what your business is doing and having the metrics, kind of a dashboard, right? What are the metrics show? What's your dashboard showing you? Is your business healthy at any particular point in time? And health can be measured in a bunch of different ways, right? You have leading indicators, forward looking, you have lagging indicators, that kind of take historicals and give you an idea of what's going on. And you have, if you're looking at daily sales, if you're retail, you're looking at daily sales. It just, you have to, right? You're looking at your labor costs. What else are you looking at? Your efficiency, right? Your efficiency with your labor. How booked out are you? What are your leads coming in? There's a bunch of them. And they're very specific to your business. So when we start working, and we work with for-profit companies and not-for-profit companies. So, but it's the same, right? KPIs are KPIs. So you if you're running your non-for-profit as a business, which you should be, everybody has a nonprofit. You should run it as a business because that allows
It's
you.
more complicated business.
It is.
In my opinion, it's more, you got volunteers, you have to raise money, you have to spend money, and you have even a higher level of accountability because you need to be in, even more of a steward of the funds.
You have governance. You have governance. You have built it. I wrote a blog article about that. I wrote an article about that. How if you're a for-profit company, your next door non-for-profit neighbor is probably running better than you are, and here's why. Number one is they have governance. What is governance? They have accountability built in to their organization, meaning they have a finance committee or they have a board of directors, right? And those committees or boards are holding the team accountable in a lot of different ways. So operationally, financially, mission wise, all of those things. So I I had that. I don't know. I was talking to somebody and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of people that don't understand that, but that's built in, and they have to have it. They have to have it. There's governance that requires that kind of stuff. So I kind of argued that point with in the blog is you could be learning something from your next door nonprofit about accountability and about managing and about forward looking, and because as entrepreneurs we're probably just doing whatever we want.
Right.
We know that.
Yeah. That's why at Impact Mastermind, which you're a part of, and we have some nonprofits in there that we want them. One, they don't necessarily get the business acumen piece because they're typically mission driven, and yet we as entrepreneurs don't necessarily get the governance piece. And
100%.
conversations are so unique and valuable for both that's why we did it. We want it to be a group of entrepreneurs, so they need to be an entrepreneurial nonprofit, not just
Right.
somebody that's doing wonderful things but doesn't think outside the box. We want that person in our group to be feel isolated and alone, and we're the group for them. So
Right. No, I love that. I think that intentionality, it makes the group even richer. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Um, do you have a favorite rule? I'm Rule 78, Rule 72, Rule of Patty.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. I have to think about that a minute. Um, well, I have a way of thinking that is always I'm always challenging people's acceptance of what they think is going to be accepted. So what I say is, how do I say it now? They can't say no until you ask, unless you ask. So if you're just thinking somebody's going to say, oh, they'll never go for that. How do you know that? You need to ask. You need to ask. Don't just assume that it's a no go, no fly, negatory, right? In your head, that's the the movie that's playing. But that's not the truth. The truth, and even if they said no, no doesn't always mean no. No can mean not now, but maybe later. No is never, a you know stake in the ground that says no never, unless they say no never. Right? Is it no never, or is it no? No is like, hey, I may come back to you on that, and or come back to me on that, and we can talk about it maybe next year. Right? Maybe the timing's not right. Right? The circumstances aren't quite right to move that forward, but that doesn't mean that's a dead end, at all. So yeah, don't assume. Don't assume.
Yeah. There you go. I like that. Don't make an
Yeah.
ass out of you and me, right?
Right. I know my brother
Yeah.
tell me that. What's that?
Mine too. That's why I remember it. It was like, oh, I remember that word.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Well, and if you don't ask, you don't know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be yes, no, or like you say, it might be maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I, yeah, you just, and it might not even be a year later. It may be, hey, look, we don't really have the budget for it, or we weren't planning for it, or yes, you're correct. You need a new truck. However, you need to bring this information to me first. Then we could talk.
Let's plan it. Right. Let's plan a scenario around that.
R- Right. And maybe it's, oh, well, once we get one new client, well, now all of a sudden
Mm.
there's incentive and alignment around
Yeah.
that. So is there an industry that you like or anything you focus on? And then also along with that, do you have access to industry metrics and measurements that you kind of compare your clients to?
So we've done a little bit of that. So the benchmarking that you're talking about. So with the internet and AI, I mean it's all out there. So the great thing about it, I think one of the cool things about AI is the democratization of data. I like that. I like that term, because it makes it way more accessible, and you can triangulate it. Okay, by triangulate, I mean you don't trust just one source, because we know how that is. Um, it can be hallucinated data and all the things. You can triangulate that data however many ways you want to do it, just to really get um, some comfort and some clarity in it, and you can kick the tires a little bit more on it. So I like that. What was the second question? I forgot it already. Sorry.
Oh, no. Was there any industry specifically that you
Oh,
just
industries. That's right.
love to chase or don't want to?
Yeah. So we like, what we have found is that companies that look like us seem to prosper with us. Let me explain. So companies, yeah,
Fractional. So it was.
yeah. So, well, it's not only the fractional; it's remote. So companies that are maybe consulting, maybe they're online businesses, professional services, even service companies tend to, and nonprofits, larger nonprofits, tend to um, really understand us and accept, right? That's that higher acceptance rate and receptivity, very receptive to what we can help them, how we can help them. What I have found as other, especially manufacturers, um, they post COVID, I mean, it went through COVID, right? They had hard shutdowns, whereas online businesses could basically continue to operate. So if you're a manufacturer, we look different than you, right? We're not in your four walls. We operate from outside of that. I'm not saying I'm just saying what our experience has been. There may be those kind of businesses that are like, yeah, we're good with that, no problem. We have found that they are less accepting of the fact that we are not within their four walls. I don't see you sitting right here next to me. So they kind of have a problem with that. The whole, let's call it the drive by, like I need to walk by your your cube or your station and see that you're there working and contributing. Um, so I hearken that back to the 80s where if I don't see you working, you're not working.
Right.
But it is what it is. That's my personal observation and experience with that. That doesn't mean it can't work, but those are the areas and industries and business types that we tend to focus on because we can have, we know we have an impact, and we can have an impact with them, positive, by the way, uh, and get them from where they are, you know, achieve liftoff.
Yeah. Yeah. And implement tool strategies, dashboards,
Yeah.
whatever the component is that they're missing to make sure and ensure that they can achieve the goals that they want. And
Right.
I think that so often financial data is just junk or it's stale. And yeah,
Mhm.
garbage is bad no matter what.
Yeah.
Stale is not really that helpful at all. I mean, you need it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you need to be forward thinking. And I know when at the bank, it was hard to
Mhm.
find a company that would be kind of in your, let's just say a $10 million company. They
Mhm.
can't quite afford a full-time CFO. They probably really don't need one. They probably just need a controller.
Yeah.
And that's where you can fill the gap. Or they're on the smaller side and they don't need the CFO at all, and they can't afford the controller, but they could sure use you to kind of fill that gap and help them with those duties. I
Yeah, they'd probably be able to have a budget for fractional help, right? And that may be all they need. It just depends on, like you were saying, you were alluding to, it just depends on the level, right? The $10 million company probably needs that CFO, some CFO knowledge and expertise, but not full time, right? They need a slice, right? They need some deliverables, right? They need somebody to talk with on strategy, right? Who who in the organization can the entrepreneur, founder, leader talk with about strategy? Probably nobody, right?
mm,
Nobody. Nobody's there, nobody's available, nobody can play at his or her level. So we are able to do that, right? We're in the been there, done that category, and we've done it for multiple companies, right? So we each have our own. Each team member has their own collection. Plus, the what happens behind the curtain, right? Is our team talks to one another, right? So we're an accounting department, so we get to talk to one another and say, "Hey, I'm seeing this over here. Has anybody seen this before? Anybody got any experience with that? If there is that gap, it's not like you just have access to one person. You may have access to one person face to face, but you have the strength and expertise of an entire team behind that. So that's what I like is, you've got individual, you've got team coming together as one and leveraging the benefits of both for for the support of the clients, in support of the clients.
Well, I think that is a perfect segue because I agree with you. I think that we need community, and especially today, we need more community. We need human to human community. We need human to human interaction, and it can be virtual. It doesn't matter. I mean, we need to put down the phone and talk to
Yeah.
somebody if we're sitting in the car next to them. My Uber driver told me yesterday, I guess it was 2 days ago. Um, I was talking to him like no phone in hand communicate.
Like you're having a conversation with them.
Right. And he looked back and he goes, "How old are you?" And I told him I'm 56. And he goes, "Oh, that explains it." He goes, "Anybody under the age of 30, they're actually on their phone the whole time." Actually, I think he said 45, but anyway,
No,
um,
no.
but under but then he said what is fascinating to him right now is people are sitting in the car next to each other, talking to each other on the phone.
What?
And I said, "Huh? I don't even understand that." He goes, "I don't either." But he goes, "I'll bet that's 15 to 20% of the time now is people are actually just having a conversation because they don't know and haven't been taught how to communicate." So
Wow.
that's a long way of saying you got a really cool thing coming up.
Yes.
And so you're a fractional CFO, you've got all this experience, you're building all these things, and you're like, wow, there's a missing piece. And this is the human piece. And what does it look like? And so you've created this new exciting thing called Flourish. Now that's a loaded word. That could mean anything. Is it our lives? Is it on paper? Where are we flourishing? How do we want to flourish? Who do we want to flourish with? Is it strategy? Is it community? What is it? So what is Flourish? Tell us about.
I love it. I love it. So the way it's a curated circle for visionary women. Bottom line, that's what it is. It's for women. Um,
Love it. Other than I
Flourish.
can't go, but
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but we have had we have had hosted men to join as a Flourish contributor. So there's an opportunity there for you, Graham. Love it.
I can cook. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I love. So I think Flourish, like deep down, Flourish has come from my experience. My experience for 20 years in a corporate career, and now 20 years. I can't even believe that I'm saying this, but 20 years as an entrepreneur. Uh, and what I call it the tagline. The tagline is from the lie that you have to choose to the truth that you get to have it all. And it's via community. It's the community that I never had. I never had a mentor. I had some level of support, but it was fleeting. Like it's situational. Like, okay, as long as you get this project over, I'll be by your side, right? We get this project over the finish line, whoop, and then I'm out of here. So it was like, okay, well, that was nice. And how I hear people talk about their mentor relationships and, in the professional world. And I'm like, man, I never had that. Something's wrong with me. So I created Flourish because I felt like that was a missing piece. So Flourish in my mind is to flourish let's put a definition around that. It's flourishing 360 degrees. So it's in your life, it's in business, and it's personally, professionally and personally, all around. So, what is it? It's really, how would I describe it? It's an intimate circle and curated circle of professional women who refuse to choose between success in their soul, their ambition and their alignment, and their business growth and their personal fulfillment. Bottom line, right? And it's really not a mastermind in the strictest form, because it doesn't focus purely on tactics. It's not group coaching where someone has all the answers, because it's not me. I'm still learning. But Flourish is a sacred strategic space where powerful women can come together monthly to mentor each other, grow in confidence and leadership, and create lives that feel as good as they look. And so we do that, and we have 3 pillars that we kind of operate within. And one is leading from sovereignty. So that's standing in your authority, allowing your visions, boundaries, and for self-trust, and the ability to take courageous action. Growing in alignment is the second pillar, and that's structuring life and business to serve you, not the other way around, because that happens a lot. Strategy, structure, and sustainability all working together. And then the third pillar is living in full expression. So leading as your whole self, showing up as your whole self, not, I'll call it business Patty versus outside of work Patty, because I was that way for a long time.
It's hard.
And then we know creativity, relationships, vitality, and joy are all essential elements of success, right? We get to embrace and embody all of those. So those are the things we focus on, and we focus on them with the lens of both professional and business. It doesn't matter, because you're not two people. We don't want that split personality anymore, that you've got to be, business professional person, leader, entrepreneur, and then mom, partner, whatever whatever the other half is that you choose. It doesn't matter. You get to choose into all 3 of these being in balance and serving you instead of you serving it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I think that it's so important that we're all in alignment with who we are. And in alignment doesn't mean that, well, here's an example. If I'm hanging out with our buddy Chris Wang, I'm in alignment with me when I'm with him, but it's probably not is. It is a different conversation than if I'm with a client at dinner, but I'm in alignment in both places, or with Janelle, or with you, or what, so I'm still true to who I am, and I'm still authentic, and I think we miss that. I think we miss that piece so often in life, that it's okay to be who we are and authentic, and it's also somewhat situational, just appropriate language or whatever it might be that.
Yeah. And that's okay. It's just that you don't have to show up as somebody else. Like, it's not Banker Graham on, and then I see you someplace in a different setting, and it's a different Graham, right? It's not Banker Graham that I met over here. It's different Graham, and I'm confused, and it's confusing to you. Heck, I was like, oh, I can't play to. It's like theater, right? It's like drama. I'm not one for drama. I am not one for drama at all. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
No,
We don't need that facade. We don't need that.
no, that's exactly it. What kind of facade are you having to put up, right? Or are you hiding behind something, right?
Mhm.
So what feels true to you, and how do you get to express it all the time, right? How do you get to live that way all the time? And how do you get to, take your business life such that it's, or design it such that it supports you rather than being a slave to it, right? why do you fight it? Is that what you love to do? It's not what you love to do, right? So let's think. Let's invite some group think. I mean, that's the best thing about a community is every person. That's why we have the mentor mentee. When I talked about, not having a mentor, through my career, this is a mentor mentee relationship. So like the client that I talked about, that perfect client that likes to receive our information, that's what we value. That's why it's a curated circle. You can't have people showing up there and going, I know everything. I'm going to tell you everything, but I'm not going to receive anything. So it's a growing circle, meaning it's a growth circle, right? So we get to receive from people who have experiences and paths that are totally different from us because we value that. I value that because their journey, they picked up different things along different artifacts and little, fossils and things along the way. And that makes them have a different perspective than what I come with. But I've come a long way too. I've been on the planet for a few years. And so I have this backpack of all kinds of goodies, right? And so everybody's got their goodies and we share, right? We share based on where they are and what they want to receive, right? They're saying, I'm kind of stuck here and I would really like some perspective on this. And I've tried this and all the things. And it's a very supportive circle of not the been there, done that's, but the how can we elevate you, right? Even better, I call it the even better if. You're doing great. And even better if, right? That's always a positive trajectory. It's always a problem solving exercise, the even better if. You're always thinking creatively to get to the even better if. And it's always an upgrade. So I'm always looking at it from that perspective. How can we, launch your leadership? How can we help you, see something maybe you're not seeing, or give perspective, whatever it is. It's the community, the curated community that really does the work with everybody. So it's group thinking. I love it.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So what type of person, I mean, generally, obviously it's
Women.
where are they in a career? Yeah, I actually intentionally left that word out just so that you could, but uh,
Okay. Sorry.
what type of ladies or women are you looking and are best fits? Is it somebody that's 25 and up and coming, somebody that's 75 and just wants to mentor, all of the above? Are they business owners? Are they business leaders? Are they career minded? Are they, I mean, what does that look like?
Yeah, I love that question. So it's a combination. So I would say it's probably 35 and up because they've gotten into their career and are actively working on something, right? So whether it be entrepreneurial or maybe it's they're at an inflection point in their career path and they're looking to change. We have a couple of people who are in corporate now and have a side hustle, right? And they want to grow their side hustle so they can ditch this because this is weighing them down, right? This is dragging them down and they want this. How do they continue to grow this, right? How do we resource them? How do we get them the tools? How do we get them ideas and what's important to them? Those types of things. Yeah, so people in a meaningful pivot, people that are looking for the impact to leave that legacy. And legacy is kind of one of those words you gotta break it down to give it the meaning that makes the most sense for you. Because to some people, it's like, yes, I'm going to give $3 billion away of my wealth and it's going to go to the foundation for blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's great. And that's not my legacy. My legacy, when I think about that, is all about the impact that I'm leaving and what I'm imparting in other people, and especially women, to give them the experiences and the support and the community that I never had, that I wish that I would have had as I was coming through corporate, to be, to have a mentor, to have that support system in place, and not have to trailblaze all the time. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. So, having the support around when you need it, and we meet monthly. We have two calls a month, but we also have a WhatsApp group that where we have post celebrations, post questions, post, hey, I got a big thing coming up. I'd love your, send good vibes my way. Think of me on next Thursday when I've got such and so coming up. So it's those kind of things that, sometimes you can't, there's no room, I'll call it room, to have certain conversations in as a leader. And we're giving that opportunity. We're providing that container for these women to have those kind of conversations when they have nowhere else to go as leaders and as, female founders, people in pivots. Pivot. I hate that word. That got overused during COVID.
A few words right now that have been overused, but unfortunately, there's not much of a better word either. In transition,
In transition.
you're changing, or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that it's a pretty cool thing because all leaders pretty much feel isolated,
Yeah.
and I'm married to a fairly strong-willed female leader.
Yes, you are.
And
Yes, you are. She's amazing, by the way. You guys are both amazing.
oh, thanks. But no, she's awesome. But having a container that has soundproof walls for just a female, just a woman entrepreneur, a woman leader, there's different things you talk about. It's not water cooler gossip stuff that you're talking over coffee. It is, hey, my daughter's doing this, or my family is, or my office, my company, whatever, is impacting. I can't get to soccer. What do I do? Do you have any ways of scheduling? Or cool one recently, the suggestion from a travel standpoint, they hire now Uber to drive the kids from school to soccer practice, so the parent can go straight from work to the practice to watch the practice or the game, I guess, without having that extra 40 minutes of driving.
Right.
Hey, I never even thought that was a solution until, but what a
Amazing.
great mom hack, for lack of a word.
I love it.
And so those things can be said and heard and shared in your container. And so you're meeting online, I'm assuming, twice a month.
Yep.
And then you have a continuous WhatsApp that's active.
We do.
Do people, they sign up for the year? They sign up, what's kind of that structure or flow?
So right now we are signing up for a year. And we're still accepting members into our first cohort, our founding cohort. And we will continue to build out the circle, and hopefully people will stay with us because of the community that is being built for them, by them. And we actually have in 2 weeks' time, we have an in-person event. So in addition to the online platform, and we were talking about this earlier, is the in-person aspect of it is huge. Getting together, building community, but it's the ability to not only just have these video chat conversations, which are great, by the way. I don't want to take away from that, but it's having those water cooler conversations, having that conversation down the hall because on break we just happened to chat by, walk by somebody and it's like, Patty, you were saying, and that I was really intrigued by that. Can you tell me a little bit more about such and so? Right. Hey, Graham, I heard you, you were talking when you were talking in the group, you were talking about X, and I'm really, I have something for you. If this is of interest to you or if it's helpful, it's that kind of stuff that only happens in an in-person type of setting. So I didn't want to set that aside and count that out. I wanted to make sure that we had that. And we have that coming up in Austin in May. It's going to be amazing. Private chef prepared meals. We have, the Airbnb is phenomenal. The location is phenomenal on Lake Travis. We're just, we're going to have an amazing time and we're going to get stuff done because what we have is bring what you have. It's a working type of experience and an event where you're going to learn how this circle works and you're going to benefit from how the circle works, and you're going to have a 90-day plan for implementation on your way out type of thing. So it's going to be amazing. You'll enjoy it, and guess what? You'll get stuff done. So that's what I like about it. Is there's a little bit of teaching just so that we can all get level set on what do we cover, and then we get to work. Right? What's holding you back? What's one thing you're refusing to do? Oh man, that's we're gonna get under the hood. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun at it. It's not gonna be oh, I dread this kind of work. Nope, it's gonna be light, and it's going to be, very beneficial so that you walk away a person who's been upgraded. So that's what we're all about. Upgrades.
Upgrades. I like that. I think that we want to upgrade, by and
Yes.
large. What I did, here's an interesting little side tidbit. Only 33% or 34% of us actually want to upgrade. The rest
No
can't.
way.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that. That's
I
that
thought,
rather low for, I don't know. I think in our circles, I think globally, yeah, I got that. But I think in our circles, I would say we've had the people that we hang around with is probably way higher than that.
I have a feeling our circle is such a unicorn circle that it's 100% that want to improve.
Probably. Yeah.
And we are offsetting that 33, 34. I looked, there were a couple of different numbers. The lowest was
Yeah.
32, the highest was 35. So I'm just picking.
Okay, it's right there. Pick a number.
It's close enough for this one.
Yeah.
But Janelle and I were laughing about it, having a conversation about it, I guess. And I said, I bet it's 80-20. And she's like, no. And I said, well, Pareto's right a lot.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's got to be way higher. It's got to be 60. And I was like, I guarantee you it's not 60. And anyway, so yeah, just as a side note, so you're looking for the 33% of the people who want to improve.
Yes.
And I have to be female. Let's put that back out there again. I'm not inflated. And
Just cut your 33%.
yeah. Well, and maybe it's higher in the female. I didn't genderize my question. I mean, I just did research generally of what group of, how many people want to improve, and kind of like was it Doug Brackman in his book Drive? You and I talked to him. It's 7% of the people actually want to be an entrepreneur, a leader, a driven leader, and so you start. It starts to shrink. So, so if only 7% want to lead, and only 33% want to actually improve, that's a big gap. And because that 7% is coming from the 33%, probably 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, this is one. So you keep talking about mentorship. Who was one of your biggest mentors growing up? And and I wanted to ask this question before, and when I was talking, when I saw you, I was like, "Hey, I want to know Patty's mentor because you keep talking about never having one." It's like there's
Yeah.
got to be some people in there, and maybe it's just because you're looking back that okay, yeah, they filled the gap, they filled a role, and maybe it was project based, like you mentioned. But who's a mentor that's been there for you?
I love that question. And, I had to sit with that for a long time because I did get that question. And, who has mentored me over time? And what I came to the realization of is that I had mentor moments. So it came from they came from individuals, many individuals. I say many, but not like, oh, every day you're going to, but I will say, for this particular, um, mentor moment, it was this individual. For this particular one, it was this individual, not related to career. Maybe it was, something from a personal nature. And oh, I picked up this one. It was almost like Easter egg hunting.
Sure.
I had
Yeah.
this Easter egg basket, and you just keep collecting them over time. Is kind of how that came to me over time. After I sat with it a while, I was like, okay, it wasn't a who so much as it was, the actual moment, right? It was that particular moment with that particular person in that particular situation. So I would collect them, kind of Easter basket time, right? Easter basket like, and one at a time, and then put them in. And that was kind of how I collected them over time, or how I learned, or how I was quote mentored. I don't know if you can call that a mentor because it's not really a true relationship with an individual. It's but it's moment by moment. It's almost experiential, right? Where you get
Mhm.
that experience and you're like, aha, wow, that's amazing. And whoop, I'm taking that and I'm putting it in my basket.
Right. So basically, it was, there weren't any elongated long-term type mentors, but there was just, moments or times or projects or something. And that's fine. I mean, and I think, at least it was Easter and not Halloween you're collecting. Or, I mean, uh,
100%. Yeah. With this, I don't have a knife on me. I have a pen though.
oh, that's right. Yeah. For the listeners,
Yeah.
she is now Jason from Halloween. Um, well,
But not really.
so is there a mistake, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Is there a mistake that you're finding women leaders, particularly since is what we're talking about,
Mhm.
are making right now that they need to stop making?
Yeah, I would say be authentic, be your authentic self. I think so much. I think there's so many. I think there's less of it with the younger folks, the younger women. But I will say, um, a lot of us have gone through it's fake it till you make it type of thing. It's like you have to play by somebody else's rules. My 20 years in corporate were in with manufacturing companies. So predominantly male. That's just how it was. And it was back in the 80s. That's when I started my career. And you basically, there was the Me Too movement that came up way later, but the time span was take that timeline back to the 80s, right? I mean, that's all. That's what it's all about.
Right.
Um,
And I'll throw in there. My mom fought Title IX so she could be in sports in school. I
yeah,
mean, my
love that.
grandma was one of the top, or not top, one of the first female employees in the Seattle school district
Yeah.
because, it just, yeah, no, I grew up seeing the trend line
Mhm.
and every generation every 5 years or whatever, however we want to put it, has some sort of something coming along like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and so owning your authentic self
Yeah.
and then, um,
And what does it look like to you?
right.
I think it's, it's a journey, right? It's a journey to have to shed all of the stuff that people have piled on, society has piled onto us, and to get rid of that, right? What is not mine anymore? Doesn't belong to me, that I've been carrying for so long that I don't even see it anymore, right? It's been normalized. What's now normalized that shouldn't be normalized, right? And that's it. That's one of the big ones that I see, that you can be yourself in a man's world or in the business world, right, in general, and be successful. You don't have to be that, right? You don't have to look at that and go, oh, I got to be the, I'm hammer time, right? It's like, okay, how would you do that? What, how do you express yourself and get things done?
Hmm. No, I like that. And I think that's important. And I think that we're going to just use females again, and I'll just throw myself as a we in there just because we do. I don't,
It's good.
I'll,
I'm good with that.
there,
Your listeners are
we'll
good
just
with that.
roll. We'll just
Yeah,
roll with it. I've got a bunch of daughters and a wife, so
yeah.
I can go in and play
You're surrounded
that.
by it.
That's right. Um, but we also take on what our parents are telling
Oh,
us. So it's not just society, but be authentic to what you want and who you are in yourself, and try and differentiate what that looks like from a parent standpoint, because your
yeah,
parents are probably telling you you need to be an accountant, you need
yeah,
to be a school teacher, you
yeah.
need to whatever it is, and dang it, I don't want to. I'm going to be a bartender. Okay,
Right?
well, go be a bartender. Or I just want to be a mom.
Yeah,
That's okay too.
yeah.
Or I
What's
don't
gonna
want
make
to
you
be a
happy?
mom. Yeah, just do it.
What
Make it work. So,
what's
uh,
gonna make you the happiest, right?
yeah. And
That's what's in alignment, right? What makes you the happiest?
yeah,
It's your heart's desire.
I would also add, with happy though, we also need to make sure that it's authentic and
Mhm,
uh full of integrity
mhm.
and lawful, and there's a few
Lawful would be good.
there's a few caveats to just, oh, I'm going to be happy, because yeah,
Yeah.
I think that we're kind of, again, what we mentioned a good before with some of these words we're using, it's like,
Right.
okay, it's overused, or in this case it's too generalized. It's like, I just want to be happy and I don't want to work, I don't want to do this. So
I mean, I would say there's also I did this for a long time. I'll call it the plastic face, like those little plastic masks for Halloween. We get into Halloween now. Um, plastic plastic faced happy, right? That's happy to everybody else, but not happy on the inside. So there's that you have to be very aware of, right?
yeah.
Are you truly, does it truly make you happy? Or is it just the facade that, because I had to wear a mask for freaking 20 years in my corporate career. And I was like, oh my God, I do have this mask on. And how do I get rid of it? Like, how do I have to change. I have to shed that. And I, like, who am I? Like I had the split personality, right? And how do you get yourself back to who you are and be in alignment with that all the time, as much as you can, right? I say all the time, but sometimes just it's not there. It's not there. I try.
Right. I mean,
It's a reset.
eh, every once in a while I get to just be a jerk, and that's so much fun all the time. No, it's like,
Nah.
I mean, no, but it's not who I want to be, or who I am. But guess what? Once in a while, you just get to put your stake in the ground,
Yeah.
and that's okay. You have to do that. You're not going
Yeah.
to be perfectly aligned all the time, and the yin and yang of life, I guess. Is there is there something that's exhausting female leaders specifically right now, or specifically that you're seeing?
Yeah. It's the split personality. We don't realize it, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting to play theater all the time, to be in the play, to be in the production all the time, right? Because that's what we are. We're performative. We're performing, right? So there's a part that's performing and then there's a part that's authentic. It's exhausting. So let's just call it what it is and let's stop. Let's stop. Let's be our authentic. Let's find our authentic selves and be there as much as we can, because that's where we can make good decisions. That's where we can feel like we're not exhausted. We can feel like it's light. Life is light. Life is there for us, not working against us. We're working against it when we're doing the whole performance, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
let's shed that. Let's get rid of that, and yeah, it'd be a lighter backpack for sure.
I like that. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. That's wonderful. All right, let's wrap this up for you so you can get on the sunny tennis court, which is your lovey, happy place.
I love it.
Uh, First question, or a question I was going to ask is, what book would you say everybody should read right now?
Oh yeah. So I've got a couple of them, but um, this one is like right here because I've been actually been working with it thanks to you all, thanks to my impact friends, my impact group friends. So it's The Science of Scaling by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Blake Erickson. So it's uh, the work that I did was around the impossible goals. So I did work on that, and it was amazing experience. I actually did it with AI. So Claude and I said, Claude, let's do some work here. So I had Claude walk me through the framework and it asked me questions, right? Take me through the framework. And I did it for both Flourish and for Turbo Execs. So that was quite an exercise in, wow, okay, what is that? And it would come back at me and said, Dr. Hardy would say this to that answer. So it would push me, right? It would push me like that's too light of an answer. Not specific enough, or you know, whatever. So it was good. I enjoyed the process, and it really did get me to think about, hmm, what what is it that I want? What's standing in my way? What what can I do to think bigger, right? And raise the floor, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that. So, what are you most excited about right now in business or life? Pick one.
Oh, wow. I got a lot of things going on. We've got the Flourish. We've got the event in 2 weeks, so I'm really excited about that. I get to yeah, experience that with a group of amazing women. So I'm really looking forward to that. And Turbo Execs, I just got a director of operations and my strategy partner. Just they met and they were brainstorming, and we're ready to upgrade there too. So and this, I don't know if you follow this, but this is this new Chinese New Year is the year of the fire horse. So I'm ready to ride that bucking bronco. Let's go. Let's ride the fire horse. Fire horse to me means expansion. So for me, expansion looks like flourishing, and turbo execs flourishing as well. So without me day to day, because that's why I've got my director of operations, and he's just really kicking it right now. So I'm looking forward to both of those, and then being on the tennis court, of course, because I play competitive tennis, and I just got my schedules for summer for the 3 teams that I'm playing on. We just got the schedule of our matches, so let's go. I'm ready to go.
I love it. What's a guilty pleasure?
Ooh, floating in the pool. So I'm in Florida for my guilty pleasure. I say guilty pleasure is coming to Florida for March and a couple 3 weeks, and so 7 weeks total. When Pennsylvania weather is can't decide what it wants to do. As a matter of fact, tonight there's a freeze warning, but it's going to be 70 when I get home on Thursday. But my guilty pleasure is
Good, because I was
lay out
saw
the
that
sun.
yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. My guilty pleasure is to kind of just get my lounge chair out and just like take a cat nap in the sun, right? It's not that long.
That's
Yeah, it's not that long. It's not like, oh, I'm going to lay out for 4 hours in the Florida, sun and all of that. It's like I'm going to I take a nap like for a half an hour, and I do, and it's amazing. And then I wake up, I'm all sweaty because it's all sunny. I have to get in the pool.
Yeah. What did I not ask that you wish I had, or did I forget anything?
Oh, wow. Let's see. So your folks, your audience can connect to me on LinkedIn. It's Patty
That's my next
Lawrence.
question. So go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they can connect to me on LinkedIn. I don't know that it ends in Patty Lawrence. And I love to connect with probably anybody in your audience. They're amazing people. And let's see, anything about Flourish, the event page is at pattylawrence.com/flourish. So it's my name, PATTYLAWRENCE.com/flourish. And there's more information for Flourish. And if you want more information on Flourish, you can email flourish@turboexecs.com. And I'm sure you can put that in the show notes.
Exactly what I was going to say. Man, you just you closed out for me. I don't even need to do it.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I was going to say, hey, how do we get a hold of you? What do you want them to? How do you want them to reach you? And I will add it to the show notes. So
Amazing.
perfect. It's not your first rodeo. You got the
Nah.
firehouse coming up, so I'm excited
Yes.
to go check that out.
Oh, you got your own fire horse. I know.
That, that's right. Well, awesome, Patty. As usual, it was great. I really appreciated the time, and we will include everything in the show notes. And everybody should go check out Flourish, or at least if you're a female listening in the audience, you should go check out Flourish. And if you're a guy in the audience and you think, guess what, my girlfriend or my wife should check out Flourish, go check it out for them, and then give them the information, because that works too.
We are on LinkedIn. We have a page on LinkedIn. It's Flourish 360. So you'll see it there. It's the name is Flourish, but that was taken. So it's Flourish 360. So look for Flourish 360.
Thanks, Patty. It's been
Thank
great.
you so much. I appreciate you, Graham.